This scale composite shot is 3500 frames long and was done with a new system called Slave Motion Control, or Slave MoCon. The Slave MoCon setup uses a camera on a green screen set that is controlled, or slaved, to a hero camera that is being used on the live-action set nearby. Peter Jackson would control the movements of the hero camera, and those movements would automatically drive the second camera, but scaled up by 33 1/3. Images from both cameras would be fed to a single monitor where they could be viewed combined. We have significantly improved our digi-doubles for this project. In this shot, we hand off from a live actor to a digi-double so he can be safely punted into the air across the fire pit. Our digi-doubles are made to the same level of quality as our hero CG characters, with full body simulation rigs and multi-layered cloth and hair simulation. Rivendell features a large number of 2.5D digital matte paintings for the wider valley shots. The set and extensions for the buildings were done in CG. This made it easier for our compositing artists to integrate the large number of waterfall simulations into the expansive environment. Rivendell has a dozen individual waterfalls that all run for over 1,000 frames to achieve the required run-up for the water to reach the bottom of the falls. Using our Synapse simulation framework, many of the final simulations are achieved with only a couple of passes, one for the main flow and a high-resolution mist pass. The stone giants were envisaged and indeed lit as if they were part of the natural environment. Being solid slabs of rock, standard deformations would not work for their movement. To get the proper cracks, crumbling and dust, we used a combination of our rigid body solver and fluid and particle sims for the dust. Simulation passes were also added to create the storm, with streaming and splashing rain, mist and lightning. The Goblin Cabin is a vast 3D environment populated by a shanty town of thousands upon thousands of goblins. The scavenged materials of their underground city consists of tens of thousands of assets. We used hand-painted triplanar textures to avoid relying on UVs. This also enabled us to quickly add additional textures, covering walkways with grime or rock surfaces with pitting. We used procedural textures based on rock scans, as well as scans of hand-sculpted rock models to give a convincing surface. This meant we could quickly block out huge environments that were still able to hold up close to camera, without seeing repeating patterns at a distance. For the Goblin King, our texture and shader teams had to undergo some very unpleasant research to get the king's physical imperfections looking anatomically correct. The challenge then became laying out the various texture maps onto the king in a way that was suitably disgusting, but didn't overwhelm the performance. A prominent feature of the king is his neck wattle, which we simulated to hang with weight and gravity. His fat body also benefited from a simulation pass to give the appropriate amount of jiggle. To bring the king to life, we combined Barry Humphrey's facial performance and lots of keyframe animation. Performance capture figured heavily for us in this film, never more so than with Gollum. We put Andy Serkis in an active LED suit, synced to the camera to allow him to perform Gollum on set, interacting with Martin Freeman as Bilbo. This technology enabled the two actors to have their own two-person, one-act drama in the middle of the film. Gollum himself is all new from the inside out. A new simulated muscle system, shaders and textures all contribute to his new look. His facial puppet alone has nearly 50,000 polygons. We paid special attention to the caustics for his eyes and the particular muscle movements around the eyes that become much more apparent when animating at 48 frames per second. We developed a new MPI-enabled solver called Odin for our Synapse simulation framework that helped us create fast, flexible and directable systems for fire sims. Localized areas of high-resolution detail could be added to specific areas of the fire within the same integrated simulation.